New information tonight on the Ebola crisis in the U.S. A New York City nurse in quarantine after arriving from West Africa as part of a new isolation rule has been sent home from the hospital. But a 5-year-old boy is now in quarantine after he developed a fever in the hospital this morning. He joins New York's first Ebola patient who has shown improvement since receiving a plasma transfusion from a survivor. And while Ebola concerns flood our everyday conversation from television to doctor office visits, it's also becoming a learning opportunity at a local college. NBC 26's Eric Crest is live at 6 with more.
From people being quarantined to not being able to travel to certain destinations, the conversation about Ebola is everywhere, including a local university. At Ripon College, students have an attitude about Ebola very similar to that which can be found on a national scale.
It's not like it's nothing to worry about, but it's not like we should all go in our bunkers and hide.
But it's what's being discussed in this biology lab that Professor George Whitler hopes will strike a discussion between students of worldwide consideration.
Before it was rural, and can you imagine what would happen in one of the most populous cities in the world if Ebola started spreading?
In this Intro to Biology course, the professor isn't trying to scare his students, even though he just got back from New York. But rather, Whitler is trying to expose these potential doctors and nurses of the future to think about a virus in real time, in a real situation that has real impacts.
I think it is relevant to them, and they are a little frightened by things that they don't know very much about. So it's good to get into discussions so that they do know something.
Because knowing the facts, even though they might be limited, is better than letting imaginations get in the best of you.
That's how fear spreads too, is through, misunderstanding.
Another new place you can get the facts about Ebola locally, the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. They just launched an Ebola hotline you can call and get the answers that concern you. The number is 844-684-1064. You can also find that number on our website. Eric Crest, NBC 26.
Thank you, Eric.